and action. Hello and welcome to this special video. We're going to cut all that. And action. Today we're going to look at how to create a front post and a back post stitch. And to work a back post and a front post stitch, we're going to start with a front post, and you're going to insert your hook into this space right here between this post and this post. And we're going to go from the front side to the back, and we're going to push this post forward and bring our hook back through from the back to the front. So this post is sitting on the front side, and that is what makes it a front post stitch. Now, to do a front post double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert that hook between that space, go behind the post and push it forward, and bring our hook from the back to the front. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull that loop through that post. And you now have 3 loops on the hook, just like you would for a normal double crochet. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull your loop through the first 2 loops, and then you're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull that through the last 2 loops. And you've created your first front post double crochet. Now to create a back post double crochet, you're going to yarn over. You're now going to insert the hook from the back to the front. You're going to push that post to the back and then push your hook from the front to the back. You're going to grab up a loop and pull that through. You also now have 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And you've now created a double crochet back post stitch. So if you turn your work over, you can see that that post is poking out on the back side. So now let's do another one. We're going to do a front post double crochet again. We're going to yarn over. We're going to come between this back post that we just created and this new post, and we're going to insert our hook from the front to the back. We're going to push that post forward and bring our hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull that loop through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And once again, you've created a front post double crochet. And you'll notice that these front post double crochets that you've created, they're sticking out in the front. The one that you did as a back post is kind of indented because it's sticking out on the back side. So let's create another double crochet back post stitch. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to insert our hook from the back to the front. We're going to push that post to the back and bring our hook from the front of our work to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to pull that loop through. We now have 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And so when you're looking at the work, you can again see these 2 front posts that are sticking out here. You can see this back post is kind of indented. This is the back post we just did, and because we don't have anything else worked, it doesn't look like we've really done anything. But if you lay your finger over the remaining double crochet, you're going to see that indentation just like you do here. So let's work another front post double crochet. Yarn over. You're going to insert your hook from the front to the back, pushing this post forward. Bring your hook from the back of your work back to the front, yarn over, and you're going to pull that loop through, You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And once again, you've created another front post stitch. And you can see how these are kind of raised. All right, let's work another back post stitch. Yarn over, and we're now going to insert our hook from the back to the front, push that post to the back, bring your hook from the front to the back of your work, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And let's do another front post double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook from the front and take it to the back through that space, push that post to the front, bring your hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull your loop through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And let's do another back post. Yarn over, insert your hook from the from the back, and bring it to the front, push that post to the back, bring your hook from the front of your work to the back of your work, yarn over, pull that loop through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And you can see how it's kind of creating this ribbed effect. Let's work a couple more. Let's do a front post double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the front into this space, go behind it and push that post forward, bringing your hook again from the back to the front, yarn over, pull that loop through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And let's do another double crochet back post. Yarn over, insert your hook from the back to the front, push that post to the back, see how it's being pushed out, yarn over, pull your loop through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. All right, let's do another front post double crochet, or double crochet front post. Yarn over, insert your hook from the front to the back, push that post forward, bring your hook again from the back of your work to the front, yarn over, and pull through, yarn over, and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. All right, now let's do another back post double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook from the back to the front and push that post to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And again, this is what your work is looking like. And you can see those front posts sticking out. You can see the back post kind of creating an indentation between it, giving it a nice ribbed effect. All right, so let me show you how you go about repeating that going backwards. Now we've got another post here, and then we've got this end post. So we're going to have to do one more front post. So let's yarn over, insert our hook from the front to the back, pushing that post forward. And we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Now if you were doing a project to end this row, you would simply yarn over and you would end this last stitch with a half double crochet. And we're not focusing on the half double crochet today. We're only focusing on the double crochet front post and back post stitch. So far this is what your front post and back post look like. All of the ones up at the front are your front posts. When you flip it over, all the ones sticking out are your back posts. Now, how would you do it if you were flipping your work to reverse? How do you keep it uniformed and your bumps all lined up evenly? Let me show you. So to get started, we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 is going to count as a half double crochet to begin your new row and your turning chain to give you your height. So now the last post that we did on this side, if we flip it back over, was a front post. But in order to keep our bumps lined up and uniform, coming back on this row, this front post is going to have to be worked as a back post to keep the bumps uniform. So let me show you. So yarn over, and now we're going to insert our hook from the back to the front, and we're going to push that post forward. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And we just completed a double crochet back post. But now let's flip our work over. And when we do, you can see that even though on this row it was a front post and this row it was worked as a back post, you can see that the bump is staying uniformed and the raised part of this particular stitch is still, pushed together. In other words, it's uniform so that the bump is remaining raised on the right side. If we had repeated the row and did a front post, then it would have actually been kind of indented and would have created something like that. But that's not what we want, because when you're doing a front post, back post alternate, usually you're trying to create this textured rib effect, almost like if you're doing a cuff on something. It also makes a nice border around a blanket too. All right, so let's practice a little bit more. So let's flip our work back over. Now on this post right here, on the first row that we did, it was originally done as a back post, but in order for us to keep it uniformed so that just like this one here, all of our raised bumps are staying on the same side, we're now going to have to work it as a front post. So let's work it as a front post. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook from the front of our work to the back into that space between the 2 posts. We're going to push that post to the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And now if you look, our bump is continuing to raise with the row on the same side. So in order to keep the bumps even and on the same side, you're going to have to alternate your front and back double crochet post with each row. So let's work a couple more. So now this was originally a front post on the other side. See, let me flip it. See how this was a front post? It's to the front. Well, in order to keep it uniformed, we're going to have to now do it as a back post. And to do it as a back post, we're going to come from the back to the front. We're going to push that post to the back, yarn over, and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. And let's turn our work. So our original front post that was now worked as a back post, our bump is staying on the same side. Let's do another one. All right, so originally, this post here on the other side was done as a back post, but to keep this bump to the front for this row, we're going to have to work it as a front post. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook from the front, take it to the back, push this post forward, bring our hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. So let's take a minute and just kind of practice working on these, just alternating. We just did a front, so now we're going to do a back. And now we're going to do a front post double crochet. And we're going to do a back post double crochet. And sometimes you just have to wiggle it through. And a front post. And a back post. And a front post. And a back post. I'm just alternating them. And a front post. And a back post. And then to finish off this row, we're just going to come into this top stitch and work a half double crochet. Again, we're not focusing on that for this tutorial. And so see how your work is coming together. See how those bumps are staying lined up with one another by alternating those posts. When you flip it over, you've got the same. So let's do another row together. So we're going to chain 3 again. And you can either do that before or after you turn your work. And so now let's talk a minute. On our first row, we did a front post. On the row we just completed, we did this as a back post. To keep our bump for this particular stitch pushing towards the front, we're going to now have to do a front post again. So front, back, and now we're going to do a front post. So yarn over, insert your hook in this space right here from the front to the back, push that post forward, bring your hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. See how your bump is staying uniformed and on the same side. So now this one here was originally a back post, then we did it as a front post, but to keep that bump on the same side, we're going to have to do it as a back post. So we're going to do that by yarning over, inserting our hook from the back to the front, pushing that post to the back, bringing our hook from the front to the back, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And as you look, if you turn your work over, all of your bump is staying on the same side. So let's do another one. All right, again, the first time we did this stitch, it was a front post. The next row was a back post. But to keep this bump on the same side, we're going to have to now alternate and do a front post. So yarn over, insert your hook between the spaces between the 2 posts, from the front to the back, push that post forward, bring your hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And again, as you can see, your bump is staying on the same side. Let's look at this next one. Originally we did it as a back post, then we did it as a front post. Now to keep that bump on that back side, we're going to have to do it again as a back post. So yarn over, coming between the two posts, insert your hook from the back to the front, push that post to the back, bring your hook back from the front to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And if you look, you still have an indentation here, but if you turn your work over, you can clearly see that your bump is all staying on the same side. All right, let's work another. So again, this post right here, the first time we worked it, it was a front. The second time it was a back. To keep it towards the front, we're going to have to do a front post double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook from the front to the back, go around that post and push it forward, bringing your hook from the back to the front again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And as you can see, your bump is staying uniformed and on this side. All right, so you should start to kind of see your pattern. You should easily be able to recognize that this needs to be worked as a back post. Again, we originally worked it as a back post, then a front post, but now we have to work it as a back post to keep that bump on this back side. So let's work a back post double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook between the post from the back to the front, push that post to the back, bring your hook from the front to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. And again, if you look, you've got an indentation going all the way up your work. If you flip it over, you can clearly see that your bump is staying completely on this back side. All right, so let's work a couple more and finish off this row. So our next one clearly has to be a front post double crochet. So let's work a front post double crochet for it. And then our next one is going to be a back post. And the next one is going to be a front post. And always remember, when you're doing a front post, you start with your hook going from front to back, and when it's a back post, you bring it from the back to the front, and you're pushing that post in the direction you want it to be. So I will show you with these next couple ones. So again, if it's going to be a front post, you're going to enter your hook from the front to start with, and you're going to come behind it and push that post to the front. If it's going to be a back post, you're going to enter your hook from the back to the front, and you're going to push that post to the back. And then to finish off this row, we would do one more front post. And if you're working a project, then you would end the row with a half double crochet. Just giving it an edging. And so there is your front post, back post double crochets. And if you'll notice, all my ridges are aligned. They're all on the same side, and if I flip my work, I have that same uniform look, and you can see it's created that ribbing or ridging, however you want to call it, a rib look, a ridge look, but it's all uniformed. All my bumps are lined up on the same side of the work, alternating the front post and back post, and then it's done in a double crochet. You can do the front post and the back post in a single crochet and a half double crochet. You work it the same way you do a double crochet. It's just you just do a single crochet stitch and a half double crochet. Thank you for visiting my channel today. This has been a quick tutorial on how to do a double crochet front post stitch and a double crochet back post stitch, and how to alternate those stitches to create a ribbed ridge effect. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. And if you've not done so already, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to all so you don't miss any future videos or tutorials. And this concludes our video on the double crochet front post and back post stitch. Be joyful, everyone.